Hey guys, it's Tiffany of Tough Angel Books, and for this week's video I decided to do a tag. And I decided to do the first time tag, BookTube edition. But this is an original tag because I spent a lot of time looking to see if there was something like this out there, and there wasn't. So, if you like this tag, feel free to do it yourself. I'll leave all the questions down below so you can do it too. I might tag a couple booktubers, but let's see how this goes. Question 1. The first book you remember reading. The first book I remember reading was something by Robert Munsch. I can't remember what the book was called, but that's the first thing I remember reading. It was one of his many books, and I would think I was like 6 when I read it. It was quick, it was easy, and it was enjoyable, so that was the first book I remember reading. First book you fell in love with. This one would either have to be The Giver or A Series of Unfortunate Events. I read both of them in 6th grade. Very enjoyable, and I kind of fell in love with them both. But the first book I read was The Giver, and it was well written, and it was enjoyable, and I loved it. First book character crush. Klaus, A Series of Unfortunate Events. I can't explain it, but at the time I had a thing for smart people. I had a big thing for smart people. So, first book you read today. Impulse by Ellen Hopkins. I'm like halfway through it now. So, first time you fell asleep with a book. That was probably in the middle of high school. I had fallen asleep with Aragon, and I can't remember why I was reading it so late. I think it was like 1 a.m. last time I looked at the clock, and I just fell asleep right next to Aragon, and my glasses were on, and when I woke up, my side hurt because the book was hard, and I was very confused as to why my glasses were on. Yeah, first book to movie you've seen and or read. Series of Unfortunate Events, hands down. That was probably the first book to movie adaptation I remember seeing, because like I said, I read it in 6th grade, but then I think a couple years later A Series of Unfortunate Events came out. First book to movie soundtrack you listen to and love. Twilight. I did not read the book. I have troubles getting through the book, but that's just me. It's just me. I guess I might be trying to read it during my reading slump or something, but I really do love the soundtrack, and I love the way it's written and everything. So, well, way it's written. Wow. I really do love the soundtrack, and I love the way it sounds, and I did enjoy the movie a lot. I will try to read Twilight soon, but yeah. First book that made you cry. Believe it or not many books can make me cry. I'm actually a hard person to make cry unless it's something very relatable to my life. But The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Hands down, that book made me cry. First booktuber you watched. I would have to say A Little Book Owl, just because I love Katrina, and like she's very real when it comes to like her book videos and everything. First YouTuber book you bought. I don't know if this counts. It does. The Pointless book from Pointless Blog. That was the first YouTuber book I bought. And then I bought A Girl Online. Last but not least, first book you bought because a booktuber talked about it. That's a lot of books. Most of the books I have are because booktubers talked about it. The one that pops into my mind is This Book is Gay by James Dawson. but I can't remember which booktuber who talked about it. That's the one that comes to mind. I know it's not the only book I bought because a booktuber talked about it, but it's the first one to pop into my head. And for this tag, just to see if they'll do it, I'm gonna tag Next Door Fangirl. She's a really good booktuber, and I would like to see what she has to say about these questions. Alright, that's it for this week's video. I will see you Monday with a new book talk, and next Thursday with a new video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you feel like it, subscribe. Until next time, happy reading!